This is the Jaecoo J7 Ridge, a mid-size SUV from China that looks good, is well equipped, and by the end of the review, you might not believe the price. Should you consider getting one? Let's have a look. Hello, good morning. Welcome to this week's edition of Four Wheels and a Seat. My name is Alex Dalrymple. I review a new car every week, and to make sure you don't miss one, all you have to do is hit the subscribe button down below, the notification bell, and if you enjoy the video, please give me a like. The Jaecoo brand is only 2 years old and has only been in Australia since May, so you're not going to see very many of these on the roads. In fact, you won't find any Jaekoos in China, despite it being a Chinese brand. These cars are made for export markets only, with Jaecoo being part of the Chery Group. And I think this car looks really good. It does remind me of a Range Rover Evoque a little bit, but if you're gonna sort of borrow design elements from a car maker, that's not a bad one to borrow from. So the front end looks big and bold with these big vertical grills here at the front, a big Jaecoo badge, and I really like the headlight cluster design here, these sort of pixels. They give a little bit of a racing feel and more LED lights underneath those. 19-inch alloys here on the top spec Ridge model. We get a full-length sunroof. You can see a little bit more of that Range Rover influence with the pop-out door handles and the dark treatment back here between the C and D pillars. The rear light clusters mimic the design at the front, gives a nice sporty sort of feel. A full-width LED here, big fan of those, big Jaecoo badge. I don't like this. The Chery C5 had one of these as well, this ugly looking number plate holder. I know it's designed for other markets where they have larger number plates like the UK, but here in Australia, that does not look good. I think you really need to fix that up, guys. Fake exhausts down here at the bottom too. You know, that was something we saw in car design several years ago, and I wish it would just disappear altogether. Underneath the powered tailgate though is a not huge boot, 340 litres up to the top of the cargo cover here, and 500 to fill it from the top. The Ridge actually has a smaller cargo space than the entry-level models, and I think that's because of the full-size spare tyre you get under the floor here. Under the bonnet is a quite sprightly 1.6 litre four-cylinder turbo engine that outputs 137 kilowatts of power and 275 newton meters of torque. It sends power to all four wheels in this top spec Ridge model via a 7-speed dual clutch automatic transmission, and fuel economy clocks in at around about 7.8 litres per 100 Ks on a combined cycle. Pretty efficient. The marketing materials on the Jaecoo website call this interior minimalist with maximum control, and I think that's a pretty accurate summation, but you do get a very nice and attractive design with a good mix of materials, the soft touch up on top here, some slightly firmer material through the waistline, some interesting patterns down low, only harsh plastic coming down the bottom, but that's pretty normal in every car these days really, and all up it feels really rugged and well put together. The big 15-inch center screen runs the standard Chery software, which is actually pretty good. It's pretty well designed, easy to find your way around, lots of menus. It doesn't have the badly translated English that you get from some other Chinese car makers, and there is a lot of customization available with menus and menus and menus of options, things you can change, including the ambient lighting color. There's native navigation plus digital radio. You can customize the look of the screen. Wireless Apple CarPlay looks absolutely enormous on this screen, and it takes up the entire screen. Nice sharp images from the cameras dotted around the outside. There's a top-down 360 parking view, and the sound system has 8 speakers and is powered by Sony and sounds pretty good. Wireless phone charging plus space for another phone underneath that, cup holders, a jet fighter style throttle here for the gear shifter. I love using this, it has such an awesome feel to it. The mode selector here, there are a number of drive modes, we'll go through those when I go for a drive in a moment. Center console bin, removable tray, nice deep bin there. Underneath the floating console is another storage space with a 12-volt outlet and a USB-A and USB-C port. Unfortunately, they're hidden away on the other side, which makes them invisible from here. Head-up display, nice and bright, not a lot to report there. The digital instrument cluster is a little bit on the small side. I'd like if it was bigger, but you can also change the theme of that and change a couple of the display options there. I'm trying to get through this as fast as possible because it is raining and my camera is sitting in the rain. Steering wheel has a good feel, nice wrap around it. The buttons are sort of similar to what you see in some of the BMWs that are coming out at the moment. Big Jaecoo badge there, flat bottom, good sporty feel. And the seats are synthetic leather. They are perforated, heated, ventilated, full electric adjustment and lumbar support. Seating position in the cabin, plenty of headroom. Yeah, nice and low in the cabin, so it does feel a bit more sporty. You're not riding up too high. Great visibility all round. And a super quick tour of the back seat. As expected, plenty of room, lots of knee room, lots of headroom, armrest, cup holders, rear vent here. Oh, just the one rear vent for rear seat passengers. They can fight over that. It's a bit of a strange design thing to do. USB-A, USB-C, and the back seat here can be, the front seat rather, can be controlled from the back seat if you need to give a rear seat passenger a bit more room. ISOFIX ports down the bottom there for a baby seat. And yeah, all up pretty comfortable. And someone's put the child lock on this. I can't get out. So the Jaecoo J7 is actually really nice to drive. It's very smooth, it has a good road feel, it's nice and compliant, especially in wet weather like this. The all-wheel drive certainly helps the car feel very well planted to the road. One thing it does do that's a little bit similar to the Chery C5 is when the automatic braking is on at the lights, you put your foot down, the revs build up a little bit before the brakes let you go, and it does kind of make the car lurch forward a little bit. It's not as pronounced as it was in the C5, which I found quite unpleasant, but it is slightly noticeable here. The indicator noise, and this is a thing you find on all Chery cars apparently, sounds like a xylophone or a marimbula going ding, 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 ding. I don't mind it. Some people hate it. There are a few sports modes, and I'm going to hand it over to the car to tell you exactly what they are.
Sport mode, Eco mode, Off-road mode, Sand mode, Mud mode, Snow mode.
And they all pretty much do what they say on the label. Is the Jaecoo J7 a turn-back car, a car so good looking that you have to turn back and look at it after you've parked it? Yeah, I really like the look of this car. I think it's quite distinctive. Yeah, it's a little bit derivative of a Range Rover, as I said before, but that's not a bad thing actually, and it certainly stands out from the crowd. So yeah, I think it's worth a turn back. Now, as you probably noticed in the first part of the review, it just started raining, and yeah, well, look, it's been raining for weeks in Sydney, and it's carrying on today. So the roads are actually starting to get quite a few potholes in them, and driving through this construction area that I am at the moment, yeah, it's not really ideal. But the J7 is handling it all really well. It's going over bumps and potholes without really getting too upset, and not an awful lot of noise coming into the cabin either. I'm saying that though, as I'm driving over a really rough patch there that's making my voice wobble, but that wasn't too bad. I think that would happen in pretty much any car. There's no paddle shifters, but you can change gear manually with the jet fighter style controller here, the gear shifter, by holding down the M button for a few seconds. That puts the car into manual mode, and then you can shift up and down with that. Turn it off by holding the M button again. When I was driving the Chery C5, which is a smaller SUV than this one, it did feel a little bit nervous on the road at speed. There's none of that here in the Jaecoo. It just feels a lot more solid and a lot more assured, especially in the wet. It feels really good. One slight annoyance I do have is the system that keeps an eye on your eyes to make sure you're looking forwards. The sensor for it sits here on top of the steering column, and it just goes off all the time whether you're looking forward or not, and it's quite annoying because it does beep a lot. But it very politely says, "You have been distracted for a long time." Well, how long is a long time? I mean, more than half a second? I am looking forwards. You don't have to keep saying I've been distracted for a long time. I can't look any more forwards than I'm already looking. The 1.6 litre 4-cylinder turbo has quite a bit of go. I mean, this is not a small SUV. I mean, it's a small mid-size SUV maybe, but you know, it's not lightweight, but the engine does not seem troubled at all. It gets along very nicely. And with its all-wheel drive capability, you probably could take it out for a little bit of light off-roading. Also, extra marks for having the indicator stalk on the right-hand side. The native navigation system could do with just a little bit of improvement. I did try to enter an address before, and it gave me an option to search either all of Australia or just Sydney for this address, and then I somehow changed it and it wouldn't display any letters on the screen. It was only showing numbers, and I couldn't get back to the letters screen to put in the name of the street I needed to navigate to. Not really ideal. When you're in Apple CarPlay mode, there is no volume control for the front passenger for the music. You're pretty much stuck with whatever the driver wants, and you can only control that with the steering wheel until the control appears on the screen, and then you can slide it backwards and forwards, but it won't pop up on its own. The rear vision mirror is actually convex. Is that right? Yeah, anyway, it's rounded. Not on the surface, it's flat, but you look at it and you get this very wide view of the whole car, and that's actually not bad, but it does make everything right behind the car look a lot closer than it is. So I keep on thinking I'm about to be rear-ended when I'm not. So that is the Jaecoo J7 Ridge, a rare sight on our roads for now, but with its low price, 8-year warranty, really good build quality, nice design and good tech, I think we're going to see quite a few more of these on the road soon.